have a tale. A tale about a man protecting his kingdom, protecting his freedom, protecting his home from intruders. That's right. Check it out. It's wintertime. It's cold. Not right wintertime right now, but wintertime last year when this happened. And so I'm sleeping. I am sawing logs in half. I got my pillow. I'm like, probably drooling, whatever. Alright? And I start hearing creaky noises. And, my house is super old. So, like, when the wind starts blowing hard, the thing creaks. It's old, okay? It ain't nothing new. But it was waking me up. And I was like, man, it must be so windy outside. And then my brain, because that's where I do all my good, smart thinking, starts going. And it's like, hey, wait a minute. This creaky noise is going underneath of you from one room to the other and back around. And I'm like, wait, what? I gotta double check my own brain. So I'm like, oh, dang. It's like the floor. It's like somebody's walking downstairs from one room to the other. And then I was like, okay, maybe Dad's going to work or something. Maybe someone's getting up to go to work. Whatever. Let me see what time it is, right? So I roll over. I'm like, what time is it? It's so old. 3:30 in the morning. I'm like, who the crap is up at 3:30 in the morning? Okay? I'm thinking, maybe somebody's not feeling good. They're getting some medicine or something. Not a big deal. But it just was a lot of walking. And I'm like, okay, nobody's walking around the house at 3:30 in the morning. I was like, come on. I was like, you know what? It's probably nothing. I got my pillow and stuff and I'm sleeping. I'm like, it's probably nothing. I'm going to go back to sleep. And I would have. But I had to use the room of rest. That's right, the restroom. I had to go pretty bad. It was one of those times where I was like, I could probably go back to sleep. It'll be fine. Or I was like, I probably should go because I probably won't be able to fall back asleep because I have to go. And so I'm like, ugh. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm going to walk to the bathroom. I'm going to look down the staircase. If I see a flashlight, then I know there's an intruder. But if there's no flashlight, then it's not an intruder. Everybody knows if the intruder doesn't have a flashlight, then there's no intruder. Right? Intruders just use flashlights. Have you not seen every movie since ever? Okay? So if you don't see a flashlight, you don't got no intruder. So I'm like, alright, this seems logical. I can look down the stairway, no flashlight, no problem, go to the bathroom, go back to bed. 3:30 in the morning. I got work, right? I'm tired. So I'm like, alright, good plan. So I'm like, but I better be sneaky to the stairway. Because, if the guy hears me and I'm loud, he's going to be like, oh, I should be quiet and turn off my flashlight. And then I wouldn't know. Because, again, no flashlight, no intruder. See what I'm saying here? So I'm like, okay, so I throw off my blankets. I'm whoosh, throw them off. And I get down on the floor with my feet. It's normally how people walk. And I'm walking to the door. And my floor starts creaking. Which is not abnormal, but it was just especially loud. And so it was just and then it was quiet, and I was like, probably if there's a guy downstairs, he probably didn't hear that, it's probably okay, I should still be sneaky. So I go over to my door, and I grab the doorknob, and I turn it, and it it's like, and I'm like, alright, cool. And I'm going to be really careful, though. I'm going to be really quiet, I'm going to open it slow, and I'm trying to be sneaky. And all of a sudden, the door, stinking T-Rexes up in here. It's like, meow. And I'm like, what? It was a horrible T-Rex noise. I'm like, what? What? This door's never done that before. And I'm like, if there's a guy downstairs, he would have heard it. Stinking T-Rex in my room. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm still going to look down the stairway. Look for a flashlight. Go to the bathroom. Go to bed. Right? I look down the stairway. Ain't nothing there. And I'm like, if there was an intruder, he would have heard that. He would be leaving. He's not going to stay around if he hears a door open. He'd be like, oh, somebody heard me. I should go and leave. Right? So I'm looking down there. I'm like, no flashlight, no doors opening and closing. And I turn around a little bit to go walk towards the bathroom. And that's when I hear it. The stinking doors open. Okay? It opened from big door, main door, to screen door, which means somebody was leaving the house. I don't know why at 3:30 in the morning it was important that somebody was leaving the house and not entering the house. But in my mind, it was an important detail that somebody opened it in order of big door or screen door. Okay? And I'm like, oh dang, somebody just left the house. And so I'm like, I gotta do something, right? I gotta wake up somebody. I gotta tell them. And I'm like, I ain't got time for that. This dude's probably booking it out to his car with all of our stuff that we have. So I'm like, I gotta go get him. And so that's it. So I start running down the stairs. And I jump those last three stairs. I jump them. I ain't got time for those last 3 or 4. Take too long. So I run over, I jump, whoop, I land, and I'm running over to our big picture window, right? And in my house, we got like a driveway kind of up here on this hill, and like a lower driveway at the bottom of this hill. And I'm looking around at both of them, and I'm trying to see if I see anybody. And all of a sudden I see this dude speed walking towards the cars on that driveway. And I'm like, what? So I'm like looking to see if I can tell if it's somebody that I can recognize. Like you can tell who people are by their walk. Everybody walks a little bit differently. And I'm like, I don't recognize this person. I don't recognize the shape. I don't recognize the walk. So it's like a full out intruder. And I'm like, I gotta go call 911 or wake up somebody like dad or something. I don't know. Because in my mind, I'm like, if I go out there and he's got like a gun, he'd be like, got you, sucker, pa, pa, pa. Or like a knife and shanks me, I'll be like bleeding out in my front yard like, somebody help me, I'm gonna die. And it's like 30 degrees outside, right? So I'm like, this ain't good. And so I'm like, I gotta wake somebody up. I gotta stop this guy though. And so I'm like, okay, I know what to do. I got the plan. I got this. Okay? I open the big door, and I put the big door in this hand. I got the screen door in this hand, and I'm in between the two. And I'm like, okay, I gotta do something. I'm getting scared. This dude's speed walking to the car. I ain't got time to think. But I'm like hesitating, and I'm like, Jeremy, you told yourself in a movie scenario where a bad guy breaks into your house, you would go and beat the living daylights out of him like in the movies, be the hero. This is what you want. This is your moment of hero-ness. I'm like, yes, I can do it. And so I'm like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I always said I would do this. What I'm gonna do. So I'm like, okay, all right, I'm ready. So I fling open the screen door with this hand, right? And I yell. Sounded like the stinking Kraken came through. And it was like, hey! And it was so loud. It was the loudest, growliest. I did like a Smeagol pose. I was like, all the energy within. It was like, hey! And I crouched down because there was so much energy being directed out with word hey. Because nothing scares bad guys like the word hey, obviously. And so I screamed, hey! And I flinged open the door. I still have the other door in this hand. And I lunged forward with all my might, right? Still holding onto the door. And right when I get to where my arm is about all the way extended, I slam it as hard as I can. Because I gotta wake up somebody because I get shanked. And so I close it. And it was so loud, I thought it broke the window in the door. I thought it broke the window next to the door. It shook the whole wall. I actually, while I was running, glanced back to see. Because I thought I did. I thought it was done. I was like, oh dang, I'm in so much trouble if I just broke that window. But I was like, I gotta go be the hero. And so I'm running off my porch. Again, 3 or 4 steps. You skip those things, right? I just jump off. I'm barefoot. I ain't got no t-shirt on. I just got gym shorts on. And I'm running. My feet are freezing, right? And I'm like, I'm running out to this dude, right? I got my shoulder lowered. And I'm getting closer to him. But he's just standing there. Like this. Like he doesn't know what's happening. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't know? Whatever. It's kind of throwing me off a little. As I'm running, I'm ready to tackle him. But it's throwing me off. He's just standing there. Like, he ain't running faster. He ain't, like, doing nothing, like, trying to find a knife or whatever. He's just standing there. And I'm like, maybe he already has a gun or a knife, and he is going to shank me. So I'm like a little bit hesitant to tackle him. But I'm like, I gotta be the hero. So I'm running, and I got my shoulder down, and I'm hoping in my mind that somebody heard me slam the door, like somebody, and they would be like, something's wrong. Somebody slammed the door at 3 o'clock in the morning. 3:30 or whatever it was. And I'm running, and the moon comes out, and out from the place it was hiding, the clouds or whatever. And my eyes adjust a little bit to the lighting. And as I'm running to this dude, shoulder ready to just nail him, I see his face! His face! And I'm like, running, anger, energy, cracking, everything. And I'm like, ah! And I look at his face, and it's the face of my dad. That's right. Apparently, he had to go to work early that day, and I did not know. Which is actually not true. I did know. I remember now. He told me, I have to go to work early tomorrow. I don't know why he told me what the context was, but he told me that. It was at that moment I realized that it was Dad and that he had to go to work early. Now, I was outside in gym shorts in like 30 degrees. My feet were so frozen. It was ridiculous. And I'm like shaking at this point. So much adrenaline. I'm like shaking. And I'm like, I get over to my dad and I'm like, Dad? Dad? And he just looks at me. Whoa. That scared me. And I'm like, it scared you? I was like, it's 3:30 in the morning and you're leaving. It scared me. I thought you were an intruder or something. And then he's just like, huh. All right, well, hey, have a good day. And he just walks out to his car and leaves. And I'm like, how am I supposed to go back to bed? I'm shaking from the adrenaline. So I go back into the house, and nobody else seems to be alarmed. Nobody. Everybody, no lights are on at this point. Nothing. So I then go to the restroom because that was the part of the plan. And the plan took a small detour, but I still had to follow through with the plan. So I used the restroom. I'm good. I even wiped off my feet because they were muddy, and well, not really muddy, but they had like the crusty iciness of stinking Hoth. And so I'm like, all right. And so I'm laying back in bed, and I'm like, I really hope somebody heard this, and I would love to know what they thought. So the next day, I get back from work, and I'm a little tired, and I go, hey, did you guys hear anything last night? And nobody hears anything at all, except for my brother, Sam, who sleeps in the same room as me. He goes, yeah, I heard something. It was like a really loud thing that fell to the ground. And then it sounded like 2 guys outside talking that were drunk or something. And I'm like, okay, did you do anything? No, I just rolled over and went back to sleep. And I was like, Sam, that is the exact moment when you need to do something. When you hear drunk people and things falling, you do something. He's like, well, I just was tired, so I went back to bed. And I'm like, man, I am glad that I did not get shanked or shot, or the fact that this wasn't an actual intruder. Because I would be like super dead if that was the case. Nobody would have heard me or gotten up or anything. So yeah, that's the story about how I was a hero of an invader named Dad. That's it. That's the story. It's adventurous. So, what can I say? I am that hero of nothing because it was Dad. So, disappointment.